You know what, John?
What?
This is our second podcast.
Oh, this is too exciting.
I know, we made it to 2.
We made it to 2. Welcome to the Sacramento Media Center podcast. I am John Christensen, the manager and the operator of this building. And with me is my best colleague and best friend and just wonderful business partner, April Potter.
I wanted to say my name.
Well, you are?
April Pearl Potter.
April Pearl Potter.
That's how you can find me on social media is the easiest way because there's a couple April Potters out there.
Is there?
Yeah. But Pearl is P-I-R-L if you're trying to find me and follow who is talking to you and then go find John.
So we did a fun little travel this week. Where did we go?
Well, we left on Sunday and drove for my first time ever driving to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
For NAB.
National Association of Broadcasters trade show. Very large.
Mm-hmm. So it was my first time at that as well. So first time driving, first time at NAB, and first time on a long road trip with you in the car for 9 hours.
Yes, and it wasn't too much of a suffering, was it?
No, it didn't suck. I mean, what was awesome was...
It didn't suck at all.
We had fun. The cops out of the way in the first 3 hours of the trip.
Got pulled over.
Yes, I got pulled over. It was weird because I saw the guy on the off-ramp, the cop... And I made mental eye contact with him.
So full disclosure here, he was a very nice gentleman.
He's amazing.
And it was just a small fix-it ticket. That's all it was. Nothing.
Yeah.
We weren't speeding. We were driving very safe. April was phenomenal. And
I wasn't speeding because I knew he was behind me and I slowed the F down.
Actually, we were doing really well.
We were doing good.
Yeah, we didn't break the law at all. We would never encourage that.
No. But it was... perfect way to start a Vegas trip.
It was, because it was a really easy drive down there. It was very beautiful and easy stop. And we had fun conversations. We hardly even played music. We just talked.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Talked and was quiet.
Yeah, it was quiet.
Just enjoyed the ride.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. So you have been to other trade shows like NAM.
Yes, which is National Association of Merchants of Music.
Yes.
Which... is all of anyone in the music industry. So whatever instrument you can think of, they are there. The people that play those instruments, they are there. The producers and everyone behind that.
And that's in L.A.
And that's in L.A. and Anaheim. And
yes.
It's ginormous. And that is what I can say NAB was kind of on a whole other side of things.
And once we got to Las Vegas, we got into our room. Mm-hmm. We had an event to go in the evening, and when we went there, you got some free stuff.
That was a content creator celebration
hosted by the Post Production World magazine, and
wasn't it like their 20th anniversary?
I think
or
so.
Something like that.
And it's funny because we didn't know anybody.
No, nobody.
But we made friends, but we talked to a couple of vendors, and not only did we talk to a couple of vendors, April scored some swag.
Yeah, I just happened to walk up and talk to one of the gals that was at a booth and really liked the setup. It was simple and it was geared for cell phone usage. So if you like me, I get hired. Been getting hired quite a bit to film live off my cell phone, which you get a great quality little camera on there and you're good to go.
Pretty good to go.
And just was asking her some questions, and the gentleman standing next to her asked me a few questions, and I answered about what I did, and I host, and this is what I get booked, and I love this little item. And he's like, well, we're giving some away, and I wasn't expecting to be given one. So I got the stabilizer, like the little handheld stabilizer thing. For cell phone and the tripod.
Value.
Yeah, so, and then... also the tripod that has like little bendy legs on there so it can clamp onto poles and things.
Another $20 value, so it's $80 value.
Yeah, it's about $80-something.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to get. And NAB hadn't even opened yet, really.
That's right,
it was
right.
pre-party.
So the very next day, we didn't take the bus. We could have, but we did Lyft. And when we did that, they offered us on the application, would you be willing to test out a driverless car?
Which I didn't know. I'm like, is this car going to roll up with like by itself, and we have to like...
The doors open, and a computer voice says,
yeah, like I had no idea. The looks I kept giving him when he was telling me, like, we're going to be in a driverless car, I was so lost.
She was like, are we sure we want to do this? Of course, who pulls up in a BMW 5?
It's an amazing ride.
Beautiful car. 2 guys are sitting in the front, the driver's seat and the passenger seat. These guys are the researchers. They're actually testing this out. So there was actually people in the car. But and they controlled it getting into the hotel. And once we got onto the street, then they let go of the wheel and let it do its thing. It was rather interesting.
And by let go, his hands are literally like right behind the wheel as a just in case. And we had one of those just in case holy shnikes moments
So he was hands off until there was some obstruction on the road.
Yeah.
And the car was going to react, but he grabbed the wheel and then veered off and did it himself. And of course, they turned around and said, "This is normal. This is how we are programming this."
But we don't know your comfort level, so we don't want to get as close as we normally could.
And they got us there pretty quickly. It was nice.
It was cool.
Awesome.
I was confused. It was cool to see. We weren't allowed to take any photos or video while in it. I really wanted to.
That was the rules. We couldn't take any photos.
Yeah, because I wanted to show it off because it was pretty interesting.
Then we're outside of the hall and we're ready to walk in. So just outside South Hall, Las Vegas Convention Center.
We're here for NAB 2019.
We just got off a lift, which we enjoyed doing. So, April?
Yes.
We have not stepped inside yet.
No, we haven't.
What are you anticipating once we get in there?
Media mayhem. I can't wait.
Well, girl, we're going to the breach. Good luck.
Good luck. We got this.
We got this. Well, April and I knew that we're going to kind of veer off, and that was fine, but she followed me for quite a while. This year, I was able to use their application, and there were vendors I wanted to go see. I wanted to chat with eye to eye, person to person, face to face, just to get some good extra info that's just not available when you look it up. And I was successful. I've met several vendors that I was looking forward to see, and I had a list of 12, but I earmarked them on the application, and it printed it on a little map for me, which building they're in. And I got there. I got to each one. So truthfully, I was happy. Because before I'd be wandering like crazy, and you want to see everything because they got all kinds of lights. And I got to tell you, the light vendors, they bring out the new HMIs, the new LEDs, these huge 2,000-watt lamps. And, of course, where do they shine it? Right in the aisleways. So you're blinded as you're walking through to say, hey, look how bright our light is. And I guess that's the way to, hey, come see us. It is Vegas.
Right.
But it's almost like, you got to wear sunglasses down some of these aisles, which is kind of funny.
But what I loved was all of the like the live tutorials and training of the products. Like for me, that was really cool. Interesting is being, so you're 30 years in post-production world, really, where I'm a newbie in post-production and things.
I still learn things.
I get excited over gear, but overwhelmed because I have a way different way of working. I saw different vendors that had their computers set up with the program in there, allowing people to use it as they're training. And then you have all of the people that are watching this happen live as well. It was really cool.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of main vendors from Avid to Adobe, Sony, they just and Blackmagic, they had these theater set areas, and the booth size was huge, and a large screen, and there would be a lot of ongoing seminars on how to use their software, which really is a great experience. So if you're new to broadcasting or new to this industry, and again, or if you're a filmmaker, NAB is really geared for television, but online, the line is so thin now.
For me, I really wanted to connect with Gals in Gear, which is a female-run production company that is techie based.
Indeed.
So that's what they were out there doing, tons of interviews and all the stuff, and I followed them quite a bit. But to see everyone out there just killing it and having fun learning and trying the products out as well. Like, you'd see the production teams using something that you just saw in a booth, and you're like, wait, I just saw that.
I love April's description of the people who go to these things. We're just all a bunch of nerds.
It's hilarious.
It was a lot of fun. Lots of great people.
And for me, I got excited on day 2. I'm going to fast forward. Seeing Good Day Sacramento's media SUV out there. Because people forget, broadcast is also the automotives. Like they have vehicles that are on road to get those live broadcasts.
Yeah. But if we were to return, for next year, what would you do differently, April?
I would plan, now that I have an idea, because I had no idea what to expect once I got there, what the buildings were like. I will plan it and then set up some interviews. That's what I would have liked to have done, is gotten interviews, but I was just really kind of overwhelmed. And I allowed myself to be overwhelmed and not judge myself for not getting content and things that I would have liked. I did film and practice, filming in public, because that's the one thing, like, for me, as if I'm either speaking or filming, is a confidence thing. And I think that's what all of us can kind of relate to, is you're getting into something where you don't want to look stupid and you don't want to be like,
biggest fear of everybody.
Don't look at me. But everyone is doing it, and that's literally our industry, is to film and to document and to share those experiences, because it helps other people learn, putting up just like manning up, if you will, and just getting the work done and making it a little bit more editorial for myself.
Indeed, and you will not grow unless you do. But I got to tell you, when I see your work, you look like you're an expert. So
thank you.
You do really
so
well.
I was fun. Like that's why following you was kind of fun because I got to kind of get your excitement, and then you took me to a booth that I would have maybe not wandered into because they were a little bit more overwhelming. Like with the people, just, and with the products and the questions that you hear being asked, and you're like, I don't know what questions to ask you.
Was I your NAB Sherpa?
A little bit. You were, yes. And so that's why we'd get into a booth and I'd be like, see ya! I'm going to go twirl around. But I was able to get, great footage and so I'll put together a little recap of what I filmed in Vegas.
If we do that, we'll add that as a link to our podcast link. Yeah, that'll be awesome. I'll tell you what, one funny part was because April did bring her stabilizer for her phone, and she was getting good use out of it, and we were just walking down around the aisles.
Not the one that I got for free. Not my gifted one. My one that I actually used.
It's an actual stabilizer.
By June.
And lo and behold, who we walked by? That very vendor on
as
the corner.
I'm filming, and
they recognize it. They look at it. They're like screaming, like, "Hey, you're using our product!" Got
way excited. Actually, teared up. I had to ask the guy, "Can I hug you?" Because he showed me things about my product that I had questions about, and I was having frustrations a little bit.
It was awesome, and they got her in the right
set
track.
Up.
It was awesome. They loved it too.
Yeah, I love them. I love the product. So we'll even do a little tag of the product that I was using. For next year, I want to go see all of the podcast booths because I was really intrigued over all of the live productions that were going on as the event is going on. That's where I was geeking out, super excited, and I get shy when I get super excited, so I don't talk at all, and then I don't go do the things I want to do. So I'm the opposite of most fans.
It's a great opportunity to absorb and see what's on the horizon, to see new gear, talk to vendors. Like I said, when I got there, I got a lot of questions answered, and I'm very excited. And there's lots of new things we may be doing here at the studio, which should be fun to be revealed soon. But next podcast, we're going to invite a good friend of ours, Patrick Egan.
Yes.
Patrick has a great handle on how PA, production assistant, and just productions in Sacramento run, and it'll be fun to interview him.
Hilarious.
Pat's hilarious, so we're bringing him. It's tax season now, too, and I'm just finishing up taxes. I got to tell you, I hear a lot from a lot of my associates who have real questions. Hey, what can I write off? What can I not write off? What's allowed? And we are entrepreneurs. We do have to do a Schedule C. I'm not a tax expert. I'm not qualified for that. But I got to tell you, next year, if we do this, we need to bring in a tax consultant, and we'll do it before taxes.
Right.
I think that'd be valuable to the production community. So that's something we need to look at.
Yeah, because that's not just for actors or the entertainment side of things. It's literally anyone in production. Yeah. We're all freelancers.
Well, the world runs on freelancers, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, April, I think we should close this. I think we should end this podcast with a anecdote.
Like what?
How about how you got attacked by the wind in Tehachapi?
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't blame you. She had a cup of coffee. She opened the door and the wind blew the door against her and her coffee spilled.
So it doesn't sound like it was that dramatic, but this wind in this particular area was literally whipping so hard. I almost needed some weights to keep me down because it was tossing me through, like from walking from the gas pump into the store, and was rough. And then I took my coffee and walked back to the door and opened my driver door, only for it to literally. I jumped in time for it to slam my leg in, and then I dumped my hot coffee down my neck while I was still pinned in the door, screaming
I did
because
not see this I was in the store
couldn't figure out
getting
why
burgers.
I'm burning and why my leg is hurting is because the wind attacked me. So by the time John got out, I'd already pumped the gas. I was bawling in the car.
And I got in and says, "Why are you crying?" And everyone's, "Oh my goodness!" And
my neck
said,
is
okay?
all red.
Do you need some
I'm
ice?
all upset.
Do you need me to get some? And it was just
that was the worst part. Like I would prefer to get pulled over again.
Yes.
That was way easier.
Well, we always have a rule: if somebody doesn't bleed or gets hurt yet, it's not a trip.
It's not a trip.
It's not an adventure.
And it's always at my expense. It's always me.
Yes, fortunately it is.
But we had the best Vegas trip. Actually,
We
came
did.
back. Like I fell in love with Vegas. The people there were great.
It was awesome.
We stayed at Treasure Island.
It was
That
awesome.
was cool.
We just had a lot of fun. So.
And I really liked walking the Strip and going to see art galleries. Like this was about NAB. That was why we went there. But we also got to enjoy a friendship and to do things together that we hadn't done before and to explore. And
it was long overdue.
That was really, really,
we
really
had
amazing.
A lot of fun.
So
yeah. We even got to see Gordon Ramsay's video wall.
Yes, I posted. So we'll do some sharing, and that's exciting because we will always reference that as being our first big production.
And a fun one too. It was a major hit for us because it was Gordon Ramsay filming here in our studio for his Hell's Kitchen down at Caesar Palace.
Right.
And there's a very large, full size video screen, and you walk in, there he is, and he recorded that here, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah, it was cool.
So lots of little highlights, but definitely next year I'm going back with some experience and some knowledge and a game plan.
Well, thank you for listening to our podcast. Please visit us at sacmediacenter.com, and Pearl's website is
PearlProductions.com. That's PIRL, in case you forgot.
And if you have any questions or comments, send it to us, and hopefully we'll get more of these done and do our best to feed you with fun stories that we always enjoy.
And if you have a production that's coming up or something on your mind, don't forget about us and share that we are here. We are located in Sacramento, and we love all productions inside the Sac Media Center.
Hey, I know where we should go for our next road trip.
Where?
Albuquerque.
Why?
Why not?
I don't know. Sometimes you're just random.